Sup Team KBA, One Tech Traveler here. Now it's been a while since we had a smartphone to check out for you guys on the channel, so I'm excited and glad to have Google's Pixel 6 for us to unbox today. It is the small of the two versions. They came out with the Pixel 6 and the larger Pixel 6 Pro with all the bells and whistles. So today we're going to take a look inside the box, get a closer look at the hardware, the details, get a general feel for the hardware build quality and design, and then give it its first boot startup and the first impression user experience, and hopefully be able to follow this video with more hands-on as I get a feel for it, the camera quality, and just what you can expect from the device. So without further ado, here's Google's Pixel 6. You can see we have the Pixel 6, very clean and not so different from the packages of previous Pixels, but of course it is a lot smaller now since many companies and brands are removing a lot of the accessories, trying to reduce the waste, whether for good or for worse, but with sustainability in mind and probably cost-cutting measures in the process. Hey ho, this is the time that we live in. On the back, you can see it says a Team Pixel, and just here, there's not too much details, but I'll break down the specs for you shortly. This is the Pixel 6. It is 6.4 inches, stormy black, and this is the 108GB model. I do have my yellow scissors here, but let's try this little tab that they have on the corners, which hopefully is going to make these security seals easier. And yeah, nice. I like that. Google removing some of the hassles and broken and pieces of cardboard as we try to remove the stickers. Yeah, these parts are a lot more pressed down, so definitely just follow the seal. Let's put it down for a moment and lift that up. Cool. Wow. Ooh, the color looks great. Stormy black. And this is to lift up the tab. Give you a little look first before we remove all of the tape and have a closer look. That looks fresh. Inside the box, we have a USB-C to USB-C cable for data transfer and charging, say to your laptop device. Also comes in handy, especially if you need some extra cables, should last a while. So we can do some data transfer and connect it with other peripherals, so we'll see how far we can take this. Here's a closer look. Again, very well constructed, nice soft touch plastic, feels good. Pretty surprising considering they don't come with a charging brick. And then we have this little booklet, very cute. And it's just going to give you some information. So that is literally it inside the box. And now we can take a look at the Google Pixel 6. So first off, let's remove this tab here. Oh, very satisfying. And look at that. Let me just give you some angles. Made of a nice, very beautiful hardware. The back is glass Corning Gorilla Glass Victus, the newest generation of protection that should make this glass even more rugged against drops. And like I mentioned, this is the stormy black. You can see it's a little bit of a fingerprint magnet, but that's of course common with glass. In the corners, you can see they are rounded off, which makes them great, much easier on the hands and less likely to sort of indent or press against your hand, so very easy to hold and it feels great. It's also rounded off on the edges, so this feels really smooth in the hands. Again, very palm friendly. Buttons, they're all towards the right side, and if we have a look here, you can see we have the volume rocker and then what's assumed to be the power button just above it. We have some antenna bands here. On the top, there is nothing besides the microphone with, again, 2 more antenna bands. And then on the bottom, again, you can see the USB-C, the sole port, no more headphone jacks, Google logo underneath the glass. Again, looks really good, and it's a very tasteful shade of black that contrasts the deeper black for the camera housing on the top. The top, it's slightly raised, and if I show you here, then you might be able to see how much it's raised, probably just a few millimeters. So if you place it lying down, it's going to sort of angle a little bit. And the Pixel 6 has 2 cameras on the back versus the Pixel 6 Pro. This one is going to have your standard and ultra wide, whereas the Pixel 6 Pro is going to include telephoto. We have the ultra flash, but of course, Google are doing a lot of algorithmic and computational stuff for the cameras with the new Google Tensor processor. And then on the top, we have the 8 megapixels selfie camera and just over 11 megapixels on the 6 Pro. Actually boot this up. See if we've got a little bit of charge. Welcome to your Pixel. There's a faint vibration on the bounce from this animation that you see here, which is pretty cool. Here I just set it to English and put it to UK. Cool. I'm going to go through this process and then we can have a look at Android UI on Google Pixel 6. And while that's getting my phone ready, again, let's give you a little more look at the hardware. The camera module. You can see the microphone just a little bit higher towards the flash. Copy apps and data. We'll keep it clean for now. Sign in later. It's off for now with Google services, but we'll do that later on. Same with setting up a PIN, and we'll set fingerprint later as well. Review additional apps. So at least it gives you some of the options, flexible with the Google apps that you want to install. Quite nice. Swipe to navigate your phone. Try it. Switch apps. Ready. So there you go. That was the startup experience on Google's Pixel 6. Very straightforward. You can simply just skip through it and set them up at a later point, but you can see it wants you to sync your Google account, ask you for some permissions with location, diagnostics, all of that, which are completely optional, and then allows you to select or pick and choose some of the Google apps that you might like or stuff that you don't want. And yeah, we are on the homepage. So let's have a quick look at Android 12 UI and see how it looks like on Google's phone. Got the notification bar as it's setting up. You can see we've got the notification tray, very big, and we can adjust that too. We've got quite a big screen brightness slider, which is actually nice. More user-friendly. And then we've also got a soft key power button there and straight to the settings. We swipe up. We have all of the apps view, and on the top probably ones that you can set for quick opening. Very fluid with some nice animation. And you can see we have the Google widget bar straight on to the voice assistant and image capture. Very clean. YouTube, Photos, Gmail, Play Store, straight here. Welcome to your new Pixel. Some additional tips of how you can get yourself familiar with the user experience. Add apps to your home screen, power off your device, power button, and the volume up. That gives us the choice. Interesting. So the reason why you have to press both these buttons is because if we press just the top button, which I assume to be the power button, actually it is the Google Assistant. You can see how Google is pushing the power of voice. Feels pretty natural. The power button and the volume up is a little bit fiddly, but it's very responsive, and I guess it's not something you're going to be pressing too often. Take, edit, and share screenshots quickly. So from here we have the option to take a screenshot of the app window itself, which is pretty cool, and also select, explore key apps, see your notifications, swipe to clear, change common settings quickly, match your colors to your wallpaper, search your phone fast, and customize your home favorites. So yeah, very straightforward, but a very pure and clean Android experience if that is what you're going for, and it's also what is intended from Google with their Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro. All right, let's quickly go through the specs of the Google Pixel 6. So it weighs just over 200 grams, not the lightest, but pretty good for the heavy duty glass that we have both on the front and the back. Front is made of Gorilla Glass Victus, and the glass back, the previous generation Gorilla Glass 6. In terms of dimension, it's 159 millimeters long, 75 millimeters wide, and 9 millimeters thick. IP68 rated, so it is dust and water resistant, up to 1.5 meters deep for 30 minutes. In terms of the screen, you are looking at an AMOLED display. This is 6.4 inches, and it has an 83.4% screen to body ratio. Its screen refresh is 90 Hertz, so higher than typical displays which run at 60, means it does feel more responsive, whereas the Pixel 6 Pro is running 120 Hertz, similar to other flagships. And this has HDR10+, so you can run those type of content for higher dynamic contrast and punchier colors. It is running Android 12 and uses Google's new Tensor 5nm chipset, an octa-core setup with Mali G78 GPU. There is no memory card slots, which if you looked at the hardware, we didn't see any sort of tray, but it comes in two options, 128 gig and 256 gigabyte storage, and it has 8 gig RAM. In terms of the cameras, as I mentioned, this is a two setup on the Pixel 6. First one being 50 megapixels, f1.9 aperture, 25 millimeters focal length, so fairly wide. And then the second camera, 12 megapixels, f2.2, 17 millimeter as the ultra wide with field of view of 114 degrees. And in terms of video, it maxes out at 4K at 60 frames per second. The selfie camera on the front is 8 megapixels, so slightly lower than the Pixel 6 Pro, f2.0, 24 millimeters, similar focal length as the main camera on the back. Auto HDR, however, video maxes out at just 1080p at 30 frames per second. There are two openings, and this grill is actually the one with the speaker behind it. Quite easy to muffle. You can just place this and you see it makes quite a big difference. We also have the speaker coming through on the left side. There's a faint sort of grill in between the display, a slight hole between the frame and the screen. And again, if I put my finger over it, you can notice the sound can be easily cancelled out. The sound is clean, has a decent amount of bass coming through, not that much, but it's not tinny, so the sound from this is decent. Doesn't have the highest output, but I would say they went for balance compared to the brash loud output and crazy sort of noise or distortion. So none of that here, which is great. Very clean, polished sound, so at least it's pleasant if you are just watching videos on YouTube or anything like that. And then finally, it has a 4614 milliamp battery, so roughly 400 less compared to the larger Pixel 6 Pro. Fast charging is 30 watts, which is pretty good, and 15% in 30 minutes. Fast wireless charging tops out 21 watts, which is good. Reverse wireless charging, if you need to charge other devices, so that's not bad. And then it's USB power delivery 3.0. They do come in 3 different colors: Salter, Seafoam, kind of coral, and then stormy black. So we do have the stormy black one here. That was an unboxing experience of the Google Pixel 6. A look at the hardware, which in first impressions feels very premium. If you don't want the larger version with the bigger screen and all the bells and whistles and the price tag to go with it, the Pixel 6 definitely creates an excellent first impression. Really nice, very clean Android experience. Look forward to trying this out over the period of time and sharing deeper hands-on experience on what I think of the latest iteration to come out of Google Camp. Thanks a lot for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to put it down below, and give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. You can read more of my hands-on experience as I'm testing this on my website, so check it out at onetechtraveler.com. And yeah, look forward to sharing more. I'll see you in the next video, but until then, keep being awesome. Peace.